Hi, I'm Lexi White representing ADLC, and I'm here at the University of Calgary to interview students on their knowledge of Aboriginal history, culture, and to see if they have any ideas for reconciliation in the future. What is a Native or an Aboriginal?
A native or an aboriginal is someone who was originally in North America.
Someone born here?
First people in Canada, I assume.
A native or aboriginal is somebody descended from the people that were in Canada before the Europeans came.
A person who descends from the group of people who crossed the Bering Land Bridge. I don't know what the date was.
Their heritage comes from our land, like their peoples lived here before the Western man came and sort of, in a way, dominated the land.
That group of people has been in Canada for a very, very long time, long before, people who came over, the settlers, like the imperialists or whatever.
They're kind of the first people to come to this continent.
They're the original owners. I don't even think they would consider it that, but the original people of our land.
What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a Native?
My friend Tyler? I don't know.
Mohawks.
Rich culture.
Just like the culture of the original people of North America.
I don't know, First Nation.
I think of how they have a different culture, and I think of how they have smaller communities that are led by elders.
Just like I said, first people in Canada. That's all I know pretty much about them.
What year did you graduate from high school?
2003?
2013.
2010.
I didn't graduate. Should have been 2000.
2011.
2012.
2009.
Did you ever learn about residential schools?
No, I did not.
Not really.
Well, what I remember is how bad they were treated.
Residential schools were started by the Europeans that came to Canada.
Oh yeah. Actually, I don't know if I learned about it in school or I just read it on the internet.
Their goal was to educate Native peoples, the children of Native peoples, in culture and mainly religion of the Europeans.
Do you know when they closed?
No.
No.
I heard recently, probably 1990. I'm not too sure.
Was it 70s or 80s? Or was it even the 90s?
They closed surprisingly recently, I think in the 1975-ish.
I want to say 1986. I don't know.
I think it was mid-70s. I don't have an exact date. Let's say 1978.
I believe it was 1965 was the very last one that closed. I'm not sure though.
Did you ever learn about the treaties?
Yes.
I remember learning about them, but not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I think so, but it's hard to remember at this time.
What is a treaty?
Like a peace offering deal.
Just an agreement.
It's like an agreement, a written agreement about land.
It's an agreement between the two peoples.
I know that treaties are agreements that were made between the Europeans and the Native peoples regarding the use of native land by Europeans.
It's I want to say a deal, maybe that's not the right word, but it's kind of like an agreement between the government and any certain band or tribe of Aboriginal people that kind of promises them things.
A treaty is like a document, an official document that they have maybe say to the government saying that certain things are within their right.
Did you ever learn about Aboriginal culture?
Yeah, a bit, but I think it was brief.
Yes, I remember learning about Aboriginal culture.
A little bit.
Not as much as just from life experience.
Yes, but again, I don't know if that was through school or just from friends and the community.
For my job, not at school, yeah.
Can you tell me something about the Aboriginal culture that you remembered?
Not too much.
Just how they worship their religion and how they had the water god and the sun, and pretty much that's all I remember. Their language.
I remember high spirituality with the land and a respect for nature.
My understanding is that elders are the center of the community. They are the center of knowledge and verbal history.
I know there's a bunch of like the Métis, I think they're the biggest ones. I don't know, like the tribes and stuff.
I know that, at least in my friend Tyler's family, that the mother is kind of the, not so much like in typical Western culture, the mom's the head of the household, but in his culture, the mom is like the leader of the household. She is the absolute.
In some ways, maybe their culture has been affected recently because of their peoples being taken into schools and being forced to learn English. And I know that they were prosecuted when they would speak their own language in schools, so that aspect of their culture has been lost, and we're trying now to preserve it.
Culture is very spiritual and very in touch with yourself and the nature and the world around you. It's rich in artwork, in all kinds of expression, physical and vocal and historical and visual, yeah.
That they believe that there's a connection with the land. They believe that everything is connected, and a lot of their stories are told through the perspective of young people who are experiencing some kind of change or personal struggle.
Yeah, but it was a long time ago. I remember in even junior high, we learned about the Mi'kmaq and a few other tribes and yeah, cultural life.
What are the most commonly spoken First Nation languages?
This is a guess, but I think Cree.
Cree?
I would think like Cree, Cherokee, stuff like that.
Cree, I don't know. Is that one of them? Okay.
Probably Métis.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
That's the only one I remember. I don't remember.
Is Iroquois a language? I don't know.
Is Blackfoot a language?
What treaty area are we currently in?
This is one of those things that I know, but not off the top of my head. Yeah.
No idea.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Gonna guess Blackfoot.
I believe we're in. I want to say the Blackfoot again, but I'm probably wrong.
Is it Stony?
I know this. Treaty 7.
What are the main treaties in Alberta?
Don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't remember.
Could not tell you.
I don't know.
Blackfoot, Stony.
That I don't know. Treaty 7, Treaty 8 and 9.
So, in regards to the future and creation of personal spaces for reconciliation with the natives, do you have any idea of what we could do?
What can we do? What can we do?
I don't know, just basic equality.
Having maybe Aboriginal awareness days or just Aboriginal days that maybe coincide with Aboriginal holidays.
I honestly don't know.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know.
As someone who's not First Nation, I'm not going to answer that.
I think it's important for youth to get experience in leadership for the future of these Native and Aboriginal communities.
It probably just stems from the fact that I'm not faced with those kind of problems every day, so I don't think about it.
A lot of the people that make assumptions about Aboriginal people don't really realize that these people aren't necessarily there by choice. It's something that happened to them. Their life experience put them into a place where their family, in a way, kicks them out.
What about reconciliation in Alberta schools? So, curriculum, school culture, etc.
Teach them about their past, I think, is the best way to go.
I definitely think that bringing elders to schools would be fantastic, because that's how I learned a little bit about the culture, and I really can't imagine a better way.
I think it should be more emphasized so people don't forget, like me. But it should be more emphasized the importance of the original cultures in Canada and North America.
When you're at that age, do you really care about your culture? Honestly, I know a lot of Native kids I went to school with didn't really embrace their culture until they got older, and it helped form their identity.
I'm not gonna say that nothing is being done, because I definitely remember education when I was in as early as grade 6, 7, and also in high school. I do remember there was some education regarding First Nations.
There's no reason we should be celebrating Christmas but not acknowledging even any other traditions that we have in schools. And it's not only Aboriginal but all other cultures.
It seemed like we didn't learn much about natives past grade 6, 7. Maybe continue that into 10 and 11.
More could probably be done. That's definitely true. Like, I'm sure as you're seeing in interviews, people don't know as much as they probably should, considering where we're living. But it's not like nothing is being done. Yeah.
Same, with university culture though. Like we teach psychology and all those sociology and all those classes, but unless you're taking a specific Aboriginal class, those topics don't get really touched on.
And what about in communities? So Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Just get the youth involved, because I have a few Aboriginal friends, and they're like they've left their reserves, they've left pretty much everything behind, and you can't lose that part of you.
Increasing opportunities for interaction between the two cultures.
I've never understood why we owe that to people born outside of the years the residential schools existed. Like people that experienced residential schools, I don't even know where to begin to try to fix that.
I think the education really is the most important, and will educate people in every community.
We're celebrating Stampede again. It's this big event, but it's a cowboy white person event. Why not acknowledge traditional events in a similar way, or even a little bit?
I don't know. Everyone in this country has the freedom to practice their culture. Nowadays, at least. Not so much in the past, but...
And I'm afraid the interactions that do happen on an everyday basis are frequently negative, so having the positive interactions would really help.
I don't know how you fix what happened in residential schools.